let's talk my planner journal ecosystem. And this isn't going to be an aesthetically pleasing video because after years of trying to do them things, it's just not me. I am how I am. I'm sat in my pyjamas. It's New Year's morning. Slippers, fire, cozy. And that's how you are. Okay, that's how I am. So we're gonna start with this one. There's nothing in it yet other than today's to-do list because I'm actually starting this one new today, which I don't often do because if I've got pages left, I tend to just use them. I don't start new planners really for the new year. I used to, but I'm trying to waste less and be more intentional. So this is where we're at. This is a pocket moleskin. I haven't used one of these for about a year. However, I used one for years and it was my ride or die, basically. It comes with me everywhere, and it has and holds everything. It is literally my second brain. I didn't use it for a year. Once I'd finished I was halfway through university, and it wasn't enough for me to just use this. And then after I finished university, I was in a bit of a funk and I should have gone back to it and I just didn't. I thought, I can change things up, but the reality is it worked for me for years and there was no reason for me to stop using it. I should have just supplemented it with an additional planner when I was at university, but this little guy absolutely will do everything. I've used these so much in the past, and it's just the way that my brain works, and I'll always have the need for separate planners, for separate journals, different things, but ultimately this will hold everything. This will be just everything. So I think I've explained that enough. This is an Archer and Olive standard TN size. I can't show you too much inside this one, but this is a shadow work journal. I am taking a course and it's going to take probably a while to get through because it can be quite deep, and aside from the whole witchy side of things with sort of shadow work, it's just good for healing. I've started PTSD therapy, and there's a lot of things that I need to think and work through, and I would like to help myself on that journey. So this is going to help with that. It's a slow process, but I'm hoping that by the end of it, or as I start working through it, I have more clarity about things. You've probably seen this one before. I have made a video on it. This is my standard TN. It has 3. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Again, ever so aesthetic. It has 3 books in. The first is a insert which is kind of like a writing journal as such, but I'm going to try and explain this best way I can. When I'm in a quandary about where I want my writing career to go, what I want to work on, when I'm confused, I want to brainstorm, this is where things like this go. It's basically a brain dump of everything to do with my writing career, not necessarily my writing per se, but everything else around it. Then obviously I've got little pockets full of sunshine. This is what I call my consuming notebook. So everything I read, anything I watch that's, if I'm doing ARC reads for people, beta reads, things like that. It's nothing to do with my writing and my books. This is just everything else. YouTubes that are nothing to do with writing necessarily. It could be productivity or just something I found interesting. This is a little notebook that's there to help aid my refilling of my creative will, so to speak. This one was, I need to get a new one. This one was for writing when I was somewhere and I thought of a scene or a story idea, to put that in here. However, I'm going to change this, and instead it's going to be a book for when I watch YouTube videos about writing, or read craft books, and there's like little helpful tips, things I want to remember, new structure ideas that I might want to try in the future. That's where this will go. I try to use this as a writing journal, like for my writing properly, but I'm not a fan of the lines. They're not narrow enough for me. But I don't want to waste the notebook, so I might actually just finish the notebook off in the way that I've just explained to you there, with watching YouTube videos and things like that, to put all my sort of writing orientated notes there when it comes to things I've consumed and watched and ideas. This one is probably my second most important one. This is a Kahia. I can never say it properly. Size notebook holder. I had this custom made from a company in Ukraine. This is a story weaver, so that'll give you an idea of what this is about mostly. So my first one is my personal journal. I'm not going to show you what's in there, but that's just life in general. This one is writing, so this is where I actually will write down my writing, like plans for the year, any story ideas, scenes I've had, fleshing out stories, you know, things like that. This is what the other notebook should have been, but just didn't work for me with the way it was. So that's what this is for, and I'm enjoying using it so far. And this is my writing planner, bullet journal, whatever you want to call it. This is where I've wrote my Q1 goals, the stats. I'll keep track of my stats. It's a weird thing, isn't it? Because I don't really like social media, but I know it's imperative to being an author. And I do like community, and I like meeting people there and talking to people and learning about their books. But growth is important for careers, and there we are. So I have to track them, but I wouldn't say I was overly focused on them either, really. I like to think that things just naturally will go one way or the other. So there's my goals. Just some other bits and pieces that I want to do around the house. Don't even know why I've wrote that in here, but there we go. Then I've got my goals for January specifically. My overview, so that'll be sort of the things I need to do during the month. So if I've got book reviews and beta reads to do for other people, tasks for Facebook admin groups, events, you know, and such like. And then each day I'll just write it kind of like a bullet journal, in the same sense of very, like, I don't know if anybody's done the HB90 method, but I love the daily pages on that. I just didn't want to print out and use another planner. So I'm kind of going to take a few inspiration points from there and have different sections. So I'll have my to-do section. Then I'm going to write a little bit about what I'll be working on writing that day. And then I'll also have a section of where I'll end the day. So what am I happy with my writing? What do I see going forward for the day after? And what's my word count? I found that when I wrote Crestwood Falls, and that's how I didn't plan it. I very much pantsed Crestwood. But even when I wrote my Crestwood 2 and Tidings of Terror during 2025, I did the same sort of thing. Every morning I could then look at the notebook or the notes I'd put on the file to see what it was I'd planned when I'd finished to write the following day. And it really just helped keep me on track, and it helped jog my memory, because I have ME, chronic fatigue syndrome, so memory fog can be quite hard, and sometimes I do forget my train of thought and things, so it just helps keep me balanced. It's also a record when I look back of what I've included and what I haven't. Them two stories I did plot out a bit more, and going forward I'll definitely be plotting, because it definitely was easier, even if I had to change the outline a lot as I wrote, but it just helped with my memory. because I do lose track of plot threads and things, and it was a bit of a muddle. It took me quite a long time to sort Crestwood out after pantsing it, and while it was really fun to write, it was a bit of a nightmare to edit, so I don't want to set myself up for that again. So that's where I am. This is a kind of rambly video, like I say. Lighting's not great, it's not aesthetically pleasing. Probably could have done this loads better, but I really just am the sort of person who kind of just goes with the flow and rides on a little bit of a whim in that sense, which is totally the opposite to my organisational need for control most of the time. But when it comes to writing and it comes to sort of things like this, I'm never going to be one of these people who are aesthetically pleasing. I'm just me, and hopefully it'll resonate with the other people out there that are also just like me. Not perfect, not aesthetic, just wading through the mud every day. I am going to do a video. I will wait for better light for that, because it's obviously not as imperative to get that out for 2026 as this one kind of was, or felt it was, you know, internal pressure. And that's going to be about all the tools and journals and things I do use for my writing specifically. I do want to add, I don't have anything to show you for this one, but I supplement all these planners with my Notion. I've got a Notion dashboard that Inca York set up for HB90 students. I've adjusted it more for my needs, but I track everything on there. I've got all my future future projects listed, loose plot lines, my finances. I record my word counts on there, and I have a breakdown of the next 3 months week by week with tasks that I should be achieving to hit the goals I want by the end of the year. It's a loose thing. I don't like I've got a newsletter coming out in the next couple of hours, which I actually wrote ahead, which discusses sort of why I don't make New Year's resolutions, and I don't make plans, and I don't start new things in January. I wait till March. I'm very much a natural seasons person. March is spring, it's awakening, winter's for rest. That's what I'm going to do. But I am doing a writing challenge for January. It's just I want to get back into a habit of writing daily, which I fell out of. And challenges help me with this, so that's what I'm doing. I've set up a track bear, and the Facebook group that I admin will be sort of taking part in it as well. So if anyone wants more info on that, just drop me a message and I can send you the links. But either way, I want to wish you all a happy new year, and I hope 2026 is a good one for you. Bye.